Hi, everybody. We've been discussing about PBL, and today I'm going to talk about 7-step approach to PBL. PBL, it can also be called as problem-based learning. What is PBL? It is a method of education in which the student is at the center and the teacher is gate on the side. In traditional teaching, we all have seen students sitting on the desks and the chair, and the teacher will be standing near the blackboard, and the teacher is only supposed to talk and the students are supposed to listen. There should be pin drop silence in the class. So this was what we call as a traditional teaching methodology, which we all have undergone. But now things have changed, and previously it was teacher-centered and now it is student-centered. So the students should participate. They will be in the center and the teacher will be a gate on the side. So in PBL, students themselves are responsible for their own learning process and have to a certain degree control over the choice of the literature. So now, are you all ready to know the 7-step process of PBL? Okay, so now let us see the 7-step process of PBL, and I welcome you all for this program. So PBL, as we have already seen, it is problem-based learning, and the education does not only take place in lecture halls, but mostly in small groups of about 10 students. In these tutorial meetings, students discuss problems using a procedure called the 7-step approach. Discussing problems with the 7-step approach and performing the tasks of chair, scribe, or tutor requires a number of skills. In order to support the learning process, there are a number of roles in the tutorial group. One student acts as chair, another as scribe, and the whole process is supervised by a tutor. Discussing problems with 7-step method or approach and performing the tasks of chair, scribe, or tutor requires number of skills as we discussed. So let us start looking into those steps one by one. So step number one is clarifying unfamiliar terms. So unclear terms and concepts in the problem description are clarified so that every group member understands the information that is given. So once the problem is given by the teacher, the group will sit and clarify the terms given in the problem. And step number two is problem definition. The problem is defined in the form of one or more questions. The group has to agree upon the phenomena that needed to be explained. So here, the problem is defined clearly so that more questions are asked to understand it better, so that the group has to agree upon the phenomena that need to be explained. And number three, the third step is brainstorm. This is a very, very important step. The pre-existing knowledge of group members is activated and determined. This process entails the generation of as many explanations, ideas, and hypotheses as possible. The ideas of all group members are collected without critical analysis. And step number 4 is analyzing the problem. Explanations and hypotheses of the group members are discussed in depth and are systematically analyzed. Ideas from the brainstorm are ordered and related to each other. Now, step number 5 is formulating learning goals. Based on contradictions, obscurities, ambiguities from the problem analysis, questions are formulated that form the foundation for the study activities of the group members. In short, it is determined what knowledge the group lacks, and learning goals are formulated on those topics. So the students may not have all the tools and the skills that are required to resolve the problem. So they sit and analyze and formulate the learning goals. Then comes step number 5 and 6, that is self-study. In self-study phase, group members search for relevant literature that can answer questions in the learning goals. After studying this literature, the group members prepare themselves for reporting their findings in the next tutorial meeting. And the final step is reporting. After reporting, what sources group members have used in their self-study activities, a discussion of the learning goals takes place based on the studied literature. Group members try to synthesize what they have found in the different sources. So these are all the 7 steps used in the PBL, and the students will get an idea about what to do, starting from clarifying the unfamiliar terms, then problem definition, then brainstorming, then analyzing the problem, formulating learning goals and self-study, and then finally the reporting. So these are all the 7 steps of this problem-based learning, and the teacher has to design all these things and also help these students to follow the same and understand and learn the subject better. Stay blessed.